Hey everybody, I thought I'm going to make my second update video of the garden and how things are growing, and yeah, I'm pretty excited to show you. I just watched a little bit of the first one because I couldn't remember what it looked like, and it's changed so much in, well, what YouTube's telling me, just a month. It might be just a bit over that. It looks like it's got to be more. I can't believe how things have come on here in that time and how good everything's looking. As always, there's still so much to do, so much I want to do. But yeah, actually, especially after watching that last one, yeah, I feel much more satisfied. If you want to see the link, it's in the description below. I'll put it in the comments as well. And there's renovation videos of this property from before we bought it, before we knew we were going to buy this house. So if you want to see, you know, how it looked a couple of years ago, you can even go back and see that. In fact, I'll put all the links in the description. I think this is quite good to add on to the renovation stuff. And yeah, do go back and have a look at it. And today I want to just sort of show you how everything's coming on. I want to talk about some of the methods we're doing. I want to ask you guys some advice, you know, get interactive. And I want to show you, it's just, you know, really struck me the other day how much edible produce we have here. So I'm going to walk through, I'm going to tell you everything that's edible too. We've been doing a lot of work on these flower beds, and these asters were already here, and most of the roses were as well. We've planted a lot of perennials and a lot of just brought some annuals to fill the spaces as well. And it's mostly ornamental, this, and you know, it's quite hard because of these grapevines you see that we've got climbing up over this shaded seating area here. It's quite hard to find shade loving things, so I've put like a lot of hostas in and heucheras and things like that. If anyone knows what these beautiful orange flowers are, I'd love to know. They're just like a weed. They seem to self-seed and come up everywhere, and I recognise them now, so when I see them I'll just leave them. But yeah, it's looking really nice, really happy with it, and we try and dot as much edible stuff in amongst it as we can. So I've got some Turkish thyme growing here, there's lavenders, I've even dotted lettuce and rhubarb, chard, lots of basil, all different kinds of edible things and edible flowers as well. There's some dill growing, and yeah, some rosemary over here. Round here we've got some Cornus mass, we've got some medlars, and if you look up now you'll see that these pomegranates are just starting to flower, which is exciting. And yeah, I've just got the barrels out the barn too, so we're going to be leaving those underneath the guttering to try and fill up that. The honeysuckle's been beautiful and it smelled amazing, and that's really starting to climb to the fence this year, so that's exciting. I had some problems with the lake water this year, and we had some problems with our tap. This doesn't look so sightly. I might box this in and make it into some kind of cupboard one day, but this is our irrigation system from the free lake water up above the village. Also the same with the well. I've got cables and pipes hanging around. It's not too beautiful, but I've been mostly just using the well and the watering and the hose pipe coming off of that just to water the flower beds, and all the vegetables are all set up with irrigation. So we've also got figs, apples, more apples, 3 or 4 peach trees, plum trees. We've got some red currants planted down there, apricots here, more peaches, persimmons, obviously the grapes, and we've got lemons growing over here, satsumas. We bring those in the winter. And yeah, this is a fairly newly planted area, and yesterday I just rotivated where we're standing now. These are our new little red currants, they're coming out nice, and this honeysuckle smells incredible. Yeah, so this is, you can see here, we've got 2 trenches running along, and they split off this way, and this is everything like melons and courgettes and petit pan squash, butternut squash. This here, I don't know if you can see how big these leaves are getting, how tiny that is. I'm hoping that's going to be pretty good to show you on the next video. These are actually giant pumpkins that I'm just growing for fun. You know, the ones that are supposed to get kind of 6 feet across, so just for a laugh I thought I'd try a few of those. We were going to do a competition. I've got things like tomatoes dotted around here, I've got kale dotted amongst it, even cauliflowers and things like that, just to try and mix it all up and break it up. We've got nasturtiums and cosmos and marigolds all growing in among it, just to try and just to mix it all up really, for a bit of diversity. Cucumbers along here haven't done so well. they're just starting to go now, so hopefully they're going to take off in the next few weeks. Need to get along there and weed that out thoroughly this week. It's a big job. Strawberries have been doing good. We've been getting some strawberries. More apples over here and pears. This is Alara's favourite part of the garden, and I think maybe the reason we haven't had too many strawberries is she just runs over here as soon as we open the door. She absolutely loves them. And the cherries over there, well, I'll show you those in a minute. These are hollyhocks that grew from seed last year. Oh, we've had the most beautiful butterflies on these sweet williams. You can see them all flying around here. They're just all day, just flying around. It's beautiful. But yeah, I grew these hollyhocks and foxgloves from seed. They're all doing really well. This is going to look amazing in a few more weeks, so I'll have to do another one and show you. The lawns, I thought they'd kind of bulk up a bit more and fade in a bit more. I haven't really done any lawn care. I just leave it and mow it. We've got all this amazing wild chamomile growing in amongst the lawn. This is what all this white flower is here. It's all chamomile. So it smells really nice when you walk over it too. Something that always fascinated me is that people use chamomile a lot when gardening for the blind. And you can really sort of tell where you are in the garden by where you're walking. Doing chamomile paths, which I thought was a really interesting idea. We put this sage shale up just for a bit of shade while we're waiting for the grapes to cover. Grapes are doing pretty good. They're just starting to go now. In a few more weeks I think we'll be in complete shade there. See, some of these roses here have been hit quite bad with aphids this year, and I've just made a video on a natural spray that we make. If you're interested, that should be on our YouTube channel as well pretty soon. These cherries are just amazing. You can just see there is kilos up here. It is so much. That's another job for today. Get the ladders out and really spend some time picking all these. They're just perfect right now. They've kind of turned just on the turn. They're getting really nice, kind of dark. That one's not maybe the best example, but yeah, they're really good. We're going to freeze a load. We're going to make cherry crumble. Even looking at some cherry wine recipes. Cold frames were great. Taking the windows off now. I don't really need them. Got a few things in here that just really need to be planted out still. Some more peppers, some more chilies, some more tomatoes, some more flowers, some celery in there, some all sorts. A bit of rhubarb I've got to find somewhere for, and I've just started off another 80 sweet corn plants, which is kind of crazy, but we love sweet corn. This was okra down here, and I don't think it's going to come to anything now. It's the first time I've grown okra, and I left it in these pots way too long, and I've read that they really don't like being bound. You know, you want to get them out into the ground as early as possible and really let them get away. So I think I probably wasted those. But everything else in the veg garden is doing pretty good. We've got runner beans and kidney beans growing up along the fence over there, quince trees, more plum trees, pear trees, almonds, more figs. And yeah, we've just been putting rows in. Every time we can, we put more and more rows in. So here we've got celeriac, then we've got chard, we've got aubergines, tomatoes, peppers, carrots, potatoes. Then we've got squash and courgettes. We've got a couple of different types of peppers. There's more tomatoes, different variety of tomatoes. Then we've got all our super hot chilies. There's about 80 corn plants up there. There's more peppers. We've probably got hundreds of pepper plants. We love making this really sort of smoky, peppery Bulgarian spread called lutenitsa. I'll probably do a video on that later on in the year. Oh, the lettuces as well, they've been great. They've gone to seed now. What else is there? Cabbages, onions up there. And yeah, lots more to put in. Things are doing pretty good. Definitely needs weeding. This is all our Swiss chard. This really needs weeding. But what I'm doing is I'm just taking up the these drip lines, and I just hoe it all off. It'll take me 10 minutes just to hoe that all off, put the drip lines back, and that's how we're keeping on top of it. Got our first little tomatoes coming on as well, which is exciting. yeah, down in this part of the country it's a little bit too hot to grow lettuces all year. Some things are a little bit more seasonal. You can grow them, but it's quite hard to stop them going to seed, and they get pretty tough. But yeah, they're doing fine. Just say carrots. And amongst it all as well, we've dotted in a lot of things. So like between every single tomato plant, we've got marigolds growing, lots of cosmos dotted around, lots of herbs, lots of basil, partly for pest control, partly for diversity, as I was talking about before. But yeah, it's all coming on pretty good. A lot of people ask us, you know, like, why aren't we more into permaculture, and why don't we try this no dig, and why don't we do that? And I think the garden's kind of a real mixture between permaculture and horticulture. I come from a horticultural background, and that's kind of what I trained in. I wasn't trained in anything, but that's how I learned. And yeah, I've been reading about permaculture ideas for years now, and lots of things that we do implement in the garden. And I'd love this area around the lawn one day to be a no-dig area, and a kind of food forest. But there's a few things I need to try and work out in my head, and irrigation is so important here, and how you kind of run a sensible irrigation system around such an I don't want to say unstructured, because it is structured, but you know, unless you have straight lines, it can get kind of complicated. So that's something I need to kind of work out. If you've got any ideas about that, I'd love to know. I'd love to know your methods of pest control, because as I was saying, this is working with the aphids, but if anyone else wants to share their methods for getting rid of black fly and aphids, I'd be really interested to hear. I'm also looking for a natural remedy for mildew. These hollyhocks here, and some of my courgettes are starting to get mildew on them. I don't know if you can see these little white patches on the leaves like this. Just going to be out any week now, probably this time next week they're going to be out. And the other thing I'd like to know is any advice for treating fungal infections on peach trees. Our peach trees got hit really bad this year, I think because it was just so wet basically in the spring, and we didn't treat them in the winter. I've not found anything. We tied bags of eggshells, someone recommended that. I don't know if it worked. I like to say it did last year. They weren't too bad, but I don't know. You can see we've still got lots of peaches coming on, but they all got this real bad leaf curl. We've picked off most of it, and it's shot out lots of new shoots, and everything that's new looks great. Same as this one over here. That one over there's still got a few to pick off. But yeah, if anyone's got any advice or tips for that as well, like I said, I'd love to hear that. It'd be really interesting to know. Yeah, and if you've got any questions, do leave us a comment down below. You can get in touch by Facebook, on our website. Make sure you like and subscribe for more videos like this. There's loads on our channel, and like I said, I'll link some of the other related ones in the description in the comments. But yeah, looking forward to hearing what you guys think, and any tips and advice you want to give, that'd be great. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.